And we are back with a very, very special guest, our friend Andrew Im, Associate Art Director on For Honor. How are you today?
Good. Incredible.
Incredible, or should we say incredibilis? Because, yes, guys, we are not finished with the Centurion today. We've been teasing it all show. We've got a little surprise for you. Let's roll the goddamn tape as we start talking about customization. Look at this shit. Holy crap, he's got a face to the words incredibilis, ladies and gentlemen. This beautiful Italian man is now upon us. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about coming up with this face? And this is something obviously that's completely new, a new armor set for the Centurion that shows this beautiful jawline, the mustache with the beard, the nose is very present. Tell us a little bit about your journey and the challenges in coming up with a face to someone that has been faceless in For Honor's history for the most part. Well, not for the most part, for the entirety of his career.
Right. Well, Centurion has a very interesting characteristic. If you play this character, you will know that his emotes, his movement, there's a confidence on his movement, but there's always also underneath it, there's a little bit of a cockiness there. His face has quite. I wanted to make his face a bit serious, but at the same time, there's also hidden smile that makes the ease the people and gives a humor. So there's a interesting challenge to create his face, but then there was a pretty fun task that I had.
And coming up with that task, I mean, is it difficult? You know, do you want to use, like, you don't have to name necessarily, but I'm sure you're using references to come up with this face.
Of course. Basically, when we create the face, we use the collective unconsciousness as our
It's a mouthful,
guideline.
don't worry about it.
Basically, yes. We watch a movie and there's an actor who acts acts like a Centurion in the movie. And once you see their face, that's like, oh, I remember that face who was acting in that way. That's how we use how we create it's the process of creating the face. So we choose a couple actors and try to combine it to get the right feeling of this character, and that's how we completed his face.
It's right on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, well, speaking about the new face, we have to also talk about his armor, right? Like his set. So I'm assuming that this isn't just the only set that people can get.
No. There are variations of the Centurion's armor. This time, what we wanted to kind of do is a more traditional setup. Is the armor structures and there's a bear type. You don't obviously don't see it from here, and then there's also the traditional sandals that will make it very looking like a Centurion from the Roman. It's like before that it was a bit of a For Honor fantasy on it, but this is a bit going towards the traditional the armor sets, and I think a lot of people were demanding to have this type of variations.
Yeah, well, these are amazing variations, but we have to talk about the rest of the season and the other heroes that are getting.
Of course, as we promised.
Yeah,
we
so
have,
what can you tell us
variations.
about this series? Yeah.
Exactly. Overall, I mean, as you guys know by now, the theme is a bit darker than before. I mean, the last season. We don't get to see all the details from this video. We don't see the back, so I'll leave that up to you guys to find out. But there's also always a hint of darkness within every variations. Or the mystery. So as you can see from the Peacekeeper, you see a Venetian mask on top of it. So there's also, you don't get to find out what she's thinking of it. But then visually, it's a quite interesting culture that I wanted to introduce. Also, those white pelt is something that is quite new for the Warden, and also very traditional. The mask for Kensei's mask with the nice mustache. And of course, Orochi also just started to have the mask on of his own. Very interesting beard on the side. It's a metal, the mask.
He doesn't look very happy. They don't look very happy. Yeah, they don't look happy at all.
It's a dark season. The darkest one. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Nobushi. So angry. It's creepy.
It's a bit creepy, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the Shikoki, another pimped up version of it. It's
Nice.
very green.
Very nice. And so when you come up with these new armor variations, obviously you're trying to encompass, like if we're looking at the warlord, what are you trying to accomplish here? It's again in the spirit of creepiness, I'm assuming.
Well, not
Intimidation.
Really. When we read the Reddit, there's always a demand from the player, and that's I'm trying to kind of satisfy their so. The one of the masks you saw it from the warlord is one of them that people wanted to have a full mask version of the warlord. So there is one variation that you will be able to use it to make sure that he has a full mask.
Edgy as all hell. So now you added a Gucci chain. Is that what that is? Is that
a little bit of a
little bling bling?
Here and there, bling bling here and there.
Walk into the club, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Another cool variation from the set, the new set that we introduced last time for the TND. For Shaolin, that's a very expressional mask. Another version of the Monkey King that we created.
I don't know how to describe that face. A little bit like surprise. Yeah, that's it. Surprised. Yeah. Ooh, that's what I'm imagining.
Very cool patterns and nice engravings on Nuxia, and a mask version of JJ.
JJ's not looking as happy-go-lucky this time around. I'm sad to see that. Okay, well, that being said, that's not it, right? We've got to talk about obviously the weapons that are coming with this season. So what can you tell us about the weapons? And I know that we've got a cool video to look at all of them. So what were the this again is when we talk about the armors that we just saw. These are the lootable items that you get from end of match drops and stuff like that. So let's dive into the weapons maybe.
Right, sure. I think there's for season 14 there's a special weapon that we wanted to make for a special player. Clarissa can.
Yeah, so the first weapon that you're going to see is the Warden's weapon, and this one's special because it's for one of our players, Ogi, who honored us with his Make-A-Wish request, and so we chose Warden because he said the Warden is his favorite weapon, and he named it as Ogden's Revenge. So shout out to you, Ogi, and to your Make-A-Wish chapter, and we hope that you're doing well during these times.
It was our pleasure to make a specific weapon for Ogi.
Yeah.
And so apart from that, when it comes to the weapons in the actual kind of theme of the season, obviously I'm seeing a lot of green. I can see that as maybe the common theme for these weapons.
Right. Overall, the color of this season is a toxic green. It's applied to throughout the whole weapon. You can just guess what that means, and then you will find out eventually.
Yes.
These are just the reskin weapons, and only the Black Prior. I think we just passed it, and the Woolins will have new visuals. But other than that, those are just the reskin version. Just to remind you guys.
And of course, guys, we're doing this from home, so we don't have the flexibility of necessarily doing this live and taking the time and maybe even looking at your comments. So obviously, you guys could take a look and pause the video whenever you want to take a look at maybe your mains weapons. But obviously, these are all going to be available starting next week, June 11th, for Year 4 Season 2 Tyranny. For those of you who may be joining us late on the live stream, which is not very live because it's pre-recorded. But that being said, Andrew, for this season, we're gonna let these play out and take a look at all of these new reskin weapons. But what are you most excited about?
It's something that we weren't even be able to showcase right now, but then we'll slowly unveil the stuff, and as we are moving on, that it's going to be there.
So we're just at the tip of the iceberg, is what you're saying, basically.
You know what? I actually just want to reveal everything.
No, Andrew, you can't do it. Andrew, don't do it.
I'm gonna. I own if I had the player that I can. It's all in here. I saved it.
That's incredible.
I just
always
couldn't
with
find
the
player.
pros.
Give 1 second. No.
No, Andrew, you can't choose a VHS. This is 2020. We can't do this. Okay.
We don't do this anymore.
No. That's, even as a boomer myself, I say that VHS it's done. That being said, okay, so we took a look at the weapons and armors that have to do with the lootable aspect of this season's content, but that's not all, right? Because we have the Battle Pass. Year 4 Season 2 is coming out with a new Battle Pass as well, and there's items that are related to that, so we can maybe take a look before we dive into the actual weapons of the Battle Pass. We have a few items that we want to highlight. Obviously, this is going to be themed around something that's a bit more dark, as we mentioned. So we can roll the clip right now and take a look at the flagship items of Year 4 Season 2's Battle Pass. So what can you say about this?
Well, Season 14 introduced a new type of dark. It's a new order called the Horkos. They arrive, and we don't really know what they are trying to bring with them. We'll find out slowly. There are a lot of mysteries that that will be unveiled throughout the season.
It's insane.
It's here. It's all in here.
Yeah, I mean the journey is gonna unfold itself for sure. So that looks like a yummy juice. Okay, so let's keep going here. That being said, we've got the weapon sets. We're going to take a look at the Horkos Trophy Head Free Roam emote. So that's all part of the Battle Pass. Again, this is new content coming with Year 4 Season 2. The new weapons, you're getting a sneak peek here on our on the Centurion and the Valkyrie, but we'll actually dive in a bit deeper with the next video that we're going to show you guys for the Battle Pass weapons. So let's launch the video, but what can you tell us about this particular set of weapons that are a part of the Battle Pass for Year 4 Season 2?
Right. The theme of these weapons are the alchemy, the rebirth, and the mysticism. These are the main topic that this first part of a season, and our weapon design will kind of reflect the trend of this dark time. The main material that I use for this one is the red gem, or we can call it red crystal. Usage will be, you will find out soon. Always assume.
Man, all you're doing is teasing these guys. I can't keep up.
What can I do? Others are the brass and the gold. The suede leather is another one, and lacquer wood for the samurai, and the oxidized metal, which you can see as a little bit of tint of a bluish metal that you get it. Those are the main material that we used. The color wise, it's a bit more saturated, so you will kind of see it's a very vibrant, and it's all the designs and weapon designs are inspired from the medieval. It's kind of bizarre illustration. When you kind of search for alchemy, you see a lot of this type of interesting illustration that they are kind of a fantastic and decorative and artificial in a way. And when you look at the design, there's a lot of hatching lines. It's kind of a straight hatching lines, and the themes there are a sun and there's a moon and creatures, the animals, and geographical shapes, and it's a lot of a cool thing that made our job interesting to do.
And the colors I can, this, we just went through the first set, which was for the knights, but I can see also the colors are like a bit more vibrant and a little bit stand out a bit more than the rest of the seasons, maybe.
They are. They will really pop out during in the battlefield. That's the point that I wanted to bring. It's something that when you kind of carry it, I wanted to make it. It's like, that's it's unique. It's a decorative stuff. It's not threatening, but it's like, huh, that what the heck is this?
I tell you right now, I would put every piece of weaponry that you're showing in my kitchen, you know, just like on top of like the splash. I think these are absolutely breathtaking. Incredible work that you guys did. There's geographical shapes, like you said. I'm not much of a mathematician. I failed math 3 times, but I can recognize them. It's incredible.
It's just with on these weapon sets, we wanted the themes to drive whole weapons. Normally, we divide it into each faction, so each faction has their own identity of the weapon, even though the theme is like, let's say, fire or ice. But this time, I wanted to kind of really stick with the culture, as I did it for the previous one, the Prince of Persia. This one is another very unique one that will kind of make a good collection in your armory. I hope.
These are beautiful. I think the hope is pretty much guaranteed here. These are beautiful, beautiful weapons. So now that was the samurai. Now we're moving into, I believe this is going to be Viking. There we go.
Well, that's good. If you don't recognize it right away,
exactly.
I think we kind of succeeded.
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
It's an incredible job that's been done in Chengdu studio. So I thank a lot for them. Very talented people in that studio.
Very talented. Very talented. When it comes to art, when it comes to art, I think my biggest creative achievement is being able to draw a heart, and that's pretty much it. Like I can do a heart, not bad, like on a first try, but even then I have to erase sometimes. So the talent that's here compared to mine, quite drastic difference.
It's quite interesting. This one for the Clarissa.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna collect them all. Well, I mean, like, you know, you can when you're, because it's all in the battle pass. So.
For Yorm, insane.
Oh, this one's my favorite. The shield.
We're literally using the shield as a canvas.
It's insane.
Well, it was fun. It was really, really fun to design this.
So this is for the Warlord. Again, the shield, just again, breathtaking. Insane. The color is, again, like, I don't know, like, for me, it just stands out for whatever reason. And you mentioned it, like, you know, you wanted to go for something that is going to stand out in the battlefield. But this time around, there's just something about these weapons that, you know, just, it's so unique. You know, the mix and match of the colors and stuff like that, just, it looks like nobody else has it, you know? And it's great. And look at this,
Each
a moon.
season.
That's insane. Exactly, too.
Each season, you will receive something very unique. That was my highest goal for this year. And it's only it's not even halfway there. So
incredible. Insane. A little rose gold finish there that I'm seeing.
Maybe.
What is that? An escargot? Is that a snake?
It's a danger.
It's a nope. It's a nope rope there. Okay, there's 2 nope ropes. Okay. The Shaolin means business.
And we finished with the bizarre frog.
That's incredible. I mean,
oh, nice.
I'm game to finish on the Bizarre Frog. By all means, this is actually very incredible. Year 4 Season 2, again, this is the collection of items that you see for the Battle Pass of Year 4 Season 2 Tyranny. Again, we didn't have the flexibility of necessarily being able to pause on each item as we normally do, but you guys kind of get the sense of all of this great stuff that you'll have access to. Again, there's the free pass and the premium pass. So this will be available for the premium pass owners. players. You'll have that showcase within the VOD if you guys choose to take a look at the items that you want. There'll be more details on the For Honor Game website, so forhonorgame.com. We'll have all of the updates that we're talking about. You get to see all of the tiers of the Battle Pass as well. Andrew, want to thank you for stopping by and taking your time to talk about all of this great new content for Honor Fashion, because we know that that's a big ticket item for our players. Thank you again. I hope you had fun. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah. Okay. It was a different. I don't have you right next to me, so it's hard to get into it. But then it was still by pleasure to show you guys what we worked very hard for up to this point. I'm really thankful for the whole team, even when we had a difficult time to produce all these assets, but then we never stopped. And this is not it. That's something that I wanted to tell you guys. It's as you told me, as you said before, it's just the tip of iceberg that we reveal to this point. I just cannot wait, but then I just have to wait a little bit longer to reveal everything. And I guarantee you this would, for the content wise also, it's the best season in For Honor history that I can promise that.